Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 10th of June. So, what a lovely morning. It's usual summer weather here, raining and cold. But aside of that, well, it looks like it's winter weather in France at the moment. The voting over the weekend. In fact, it wasn't just France. I believe it was Germany, and I thought I might have seen another one mentioned. Anyway, looks like right-wing parties have increased their vote quite significantly. So much so, in France, there's been a call for a snap election. So it looks like Rishi's not the only one that's going for broke here. So with all that going on, we've seen the euro sell off, and it's a case of uncertainty. So it becomes risk. The traders are less likely to want to risk things, so it becomes risk off effectively. And we haven't seen these sort of situations as we're seeing them now for a while. But the risk is off today. The money runs to the US dollar. We'll look at what the Swiss is doing, but judging by its proximity to the euro, it might be off. The yen normally gains a little bit, and it's not either. So it looks like all the money's going to the US dollar all of a sudden. Just as it was looking like, leading into Friday, it was pushing up. Obviously, the job market was different to what was expected. Significantly there we saw one hell of a correction back. So onwards and upwards. Let's get a quick look today. We've got very little. I'm just looking on another we got today, Monday June the 10th. We've got bank holiday in China and new loans in China. That was it. There's nothing else to mention. I would imagine what we might get on here is some speakers. Have we got speakers coming out at all this morning? Not a lot. ECB at 10:30. We've got a couple of speakers then at 10:30 and 12. So they're not on the other system, and they can be quite useful to know when they're speaking, just because it gives us a chance of seeing why something's happened more than what's happening. So it doesn't take much to look at these markets. Technically, we can see the gap. What happens normally with something like this? Well, we've got the gap. I do wonder if we get a bit of a recovery in that gap filled reasonably early. It's weird. It looks like a double step on here, what we've seen, but not always does it happen. But it's sort of we could see this reverse back up. I'll watch it carefully this morning. Obviously, it's made for almost a non-trading day, but we'll see if it gets back above its daily R1. It's already quite volatile, and the pivots would have been quite wide this morning, even before the data. So, before the data, it was already there. That's the width from Friday's trading. So, big day. Didn't take much to cause more of the same there for the euro. Now the pound, it went, seeing it might be better on the pound. We've got the untouched daily pivot above here, but it, having been all quiet on Wednesday, Thursday, leading into Friday morning last week, that news really kicked it. If we'll see a follow through today. Normally it's quite short. The difference between the pound and the euro is the pound is still in this bigger term trend, whereas the euro currently is sitting there. It's broken its trend there. It's dropped down. There we go. It's dropped down. So a slight difference in that respect, and just looking like the pound's that bit stronger. This will of course have a effect on the euro pound, which we'll look at in a minute. Anyway, we looked at the pound, and we're looking at that for US dollar yuan. It's all right, yen even. It is a bit of a yawn. Oh, we've lost it again. The US dollar yen. Here we go. It's hardly looking decent at the moment. It's mean, the yen again is softening up. Well, every time it gets towards this 158 area, it's a concern for traders. And personally, I'd rather not be in it than trying to second guess where it's going to go from here. So I'll leave that for now. Aussie dollar came off on Friday, just along with the others. Stronger this morning, actually. The commodities here, just seeing a little bit of a rise at the moment. There's a little gap up, actually. So the commodity currencies may be benefiting here and might benefit some more. We'll see how these markets run, but again, I'm really looking at the daily pivots at the moment and see if we start getting a move towards those. It's always better when it's above its quarterly pivot, but that again could provide resistance. But I have that little feeling, but just looking, and it's really more so from what's happened in the past when we see these sort of snap action and snap sort of moves with no real volume behind them. US dollar CAD, again on Friday it pushed up there. It's a soft old bit of data. It's taking out this level which was previously resistance, and we were seeing selling into that, but that too has benefited. Again, this might roll back this morning. It's not had the same impact that we've seen with the others, or particularly the euro, and we could see this running back there. Probability is quite good into the pivots, obviously, hence why I'm looking at them so much. We just need to see a bit of a reversal. I mean, I'm just looking at the pound as I'm doing this. I just caught it on another chart, and it's selling off quite quickly at the moment. Okay. New Zealand dollar. This hasn't gone well. It's started to pick up this morning. It's not gone quite as far as the Aussie is looking just that bit better. Quite a reaction, and it's just technically this is sitting into its yearly pivot. It's not a massive surprise to see some sort of reaction to it. It just happens it coincided with some US news there, and it's helped it kick back for now. Now, if we was to see this move up over the next few days quite quickly, there is some potential for eventually a breakout. We're sitting above the quarterly pivot still. We're basically stuck between the quarterly pivot and the yearly pivot at this stage. Again, we've got the daily pivot above here as well, which is quite a draw if we start seeing things move this morning. Basically, if we see the dollar selling, it's just a case of then looking through these markets and seeing which one's got the better setup in terms of price action. It seems at the moment the Aussie and New Zealand dollar are looking slightly better, but we just need to address it when if it starts happening. Dollar Swissy, not so pronounced as what's happened there with the euro. It hasn't gained anything. It's too close to the eurozone on this basis, and well, we've caught a bullish engulfing bar there. This could push back towards its weekly pivot there. Monthly pivot at some stage. Weekly pivot wise, we've already hit, and daily, well, it's below, which would be expected. Bear in mind it's US dollar Swissy. Again, we was to see anything starting folding over here, it's a possibility, but I'd rather the more majors. Right, I said the euro pound, that has had broken through this level I've been talking about for a long time of 85. Glad I haven't got any spending money yet for the holidays. This is making Europe look a little bit cheaper. Depending where you're going, of course, and yeah, it's certainly breaking down, finding a bit of support there into the weekly S2 at this stage. Quite a long way away from its daily. I think this might just the pound may just hold up that bit better. Okay, I'm going to look through the rest of these markets in a short while in my trading room. Aside of that, then let's just have a quick look at the indices, but firstly gold and oil. So gold came off there really solidly on Friday, and it's looking it's not taking the risks trade, is it? It's looking soft where it's sitting at the moment. Really not looking bright at the moment. It too might we might see a sort of a switch round, but I'm just looking. I was saying about these switch rounds; they don't always happen, and it might not happen. I'm just looking. The euro's going off again now. Everything's going dollar focused at the moment, but it's a case of waiting. Often we wait until 9 o'clock for something like this, or maybe even 10 before things switch around a little bit, but probably the most of the selling's probably come through. Okay, oil. So oil slightly up this morning, not obviously so affected on Friday. I say obviously not so affected on Friday, chopping along there a little bit more. Really out of the action there at the moment, but as we can see on this hourly picture with the daily pivots on there, it is getting back into a little bit more of a move to the upside for now, and we could see this later this afternoon start pushing through a little bit more stronger, but we'll wait and see. Okay, equity markets, how the future's taking those, not particularly badly, but this hides up some of the movements because they've been so big. 4 hourly, we're coming down to the okay. So some of these areas, like for example, on the S&Ps here, if it comes back to its weekly pivot there, finds a bit of support, comes in with some around the other previous highs there, might find some support from those as well. So a bit of a combination potentially there. Perhaps later in the morning, early afternoon, if it carries on running. Friday didn't help things at all, of course. Higher interest rates are not good for equities, but it sort of got back up there quite quickly on Friday, so you've got to sort of some of it just sort of washes out this morning. Uncertainty, a stronger dollar at the moment. Again, this could all fizzle away quite quickly, and we could hang up there and maybe during the week see further highs, new highs on these equity markets, but they're hanging in around there at the moment. Dow Jones looks the weakest, not really doing too much, and well, perhaps if the equity markets start rolling over a little bit more, this might be the one to target. No surprise with the DAX coming off there. Uncertainty really isn't great for these markets, and the FTSE also coming off this morning. Okay, that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to leave it there. We have got a busy week ahead with Wednesday, particularly Wednesday, with the Fed meeting and US inflation early afternoon, and the Fed meeting in the evening. So I will leave it there. Have a great day. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.